Phil's Creepy Vids. Hey there, horror fans. It's your buddy Phil here, back at you today with another video. I am going through my Stephen King DVDs. So if you see a movie, or if you don't see a movie and you're like, wait, he doesn't have that, I may possibly have that on Blu-ray. This is DVDs only, Stephen King DVDs. And if you just happened across this video and clicked on it, make sure to hit the sub button if you're into horror content. But for today, at home, I am stuck at home with the quarantine. So another day at home, but that is okay because I am, just watching movies and making content for you guys. So I hope you guys like this video. Let's get right into it. First off, we have Pierce Brosnan in Stephen King's Bag of Bones. Pierce plays a novelist whose wife dies, and he goes to this kind of mansion house and haunted by strange visions and nightmares. Believe this was maybe a made-for-TV movie a few years ago now. But yeah, that's Stephen King's Bag of Bones. This is the first Carrie remake. This stars Angela Bettis as Carrie. And this was actually a good version of Carrie. Not a lot of people talk about this one. Not sure if it was a made-for-TV movie or what, but yeah, it's 2 hours and 12 minutes long, so quite a long one. But you have Angela Bettis, which I love, as the title girl Carrie, and she has supernatural powers, kind of like telepathic, moves stuff with her mind. And she goes to the senior prom, and they play a prank on her, so she gets revenge. So it's your basic retelling of the Stephen King story, Carrie. So, good one there. Next, we have The Rage, Carrie 2. I actually remember seeing this in theaters. It's kind of based on the subject matter from Stephen King's Carrie, but pretty much same idea. You have the girl, she's got telekinetic powers. She causes mass destruction. And it's an okay watch for me. The Rage, Carrie 2. In this stack we have Creepshow 3, my least favorite of all three Creepshows, Creepshow being my number one favorite, and then Part 2 is great as well. Part 3 is a mixed bag. It's okay, but not the greatest. Kind of cheaply made in my mind, but there you go, guys. Creepshow 3. It's just on the Stephen King shelf just because of the name Creepshow, pretty much. Next, we have the 25th anniversary edition of Cujo on DVD. I do have Cujo on Blu-ray, just haven't got rid of this old DVD yet. Maybe it has some special features that the Blu-ray doesn't. But basically, the story of Cujo is a kid's giant Saint Bernard gets bit by a bat, and the bat has rabies, and the dog becomes rabid, and then the kid and his mom get stuck in their car, and it is a great suspenseful movie. That is Cujo. Next, we have Timothy Hutton in The Dark Half. This is an underrated movie. It's about a writer, and there's sparrows. But yeah, The Dark Half. If you have not seen it, check it out at some point. And this does come with the MGM slip card in there as well. Next, one of my all-time favorites, we have Stephen King's The Dead Zone, starring Christopher Walken. He stars as a guy who gets in a car accident, I believe, and acquires kind of ESP, telepathic powers. And he's trying to kind of snub this guy from winning an election because he knows stuff about the guy via ESP. So that is Christopher Walken in The Dead Zone. The Dead Zone's a great book from Stephen King. If you haven't read The Dead Zone, I highly recommend reading it. Next, we have Stephen King's Desperation. This is directed by Mick Garris, which a lot of Stephen King movies are. And this one stars Ron Perlman And it has to do with this town, and there's a jail and everybody's kind of possessed by an entity. But yeah, that is Desperation, based on the book from Stephen King. Next, we have Kathy Bates and Jennifer Jason Leigh in Dolores Claiborne. This is an underrated classic. I love this movie. Basically, she's being abused by her father, which was also molesting her at a young age, and she gets revenge during a solar eclipse. But fantastic movie, guys. Dolores Claiborne. If you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this. This is one of those old snap cases, so it's got the plastic snap there. But yeah, Dolores Claiborne. Check it out if you haven't already. Just straighten up my stack here. Next, we have Dreamcatcher. This has Morgan Freeman. Evil slips through. Has to do with aliens, and then I believe the military gets involved at some point. But I mean, guys, it's all over the place. Not a great flick in my mind, but I mean, it's an okay watch. There is a toilet creature in one scene that comes up and kind of kills someone. But yeah, there you go. There's the inside, and that is Dreamcatcher, based on the book by Stephen King. Next, we have Firestarter with Drew Barrymore. Same type of idea as Carrie, kind of, except her telepathic powers are starting fires, and basically her family wants to keep her, and the government wants her because they aren't sure about her powers and want to basically use her as a guinea pig. But yeah, great movie. One of Drew Barrymore's earlier movies, came out around the same time as E.T., if not just after. But yeah, that is Stephen King's Firestarter on DVD. Next, we have this one, Firestarter 2 Rekindled. This has Malcolm McDowell in it, and Dennis Hopper, so that is Firestarter 2. A lot of people don't even know this exists, but it does. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, and it was as seen on the Sci-Fi Channel, so that's what you're getting yourself into with this one. Direct to Sci-Fi movie, Firestarter 2 Rekindled on DVD. Next, we have John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson in 1408. Fantastic movie. I love this movie. John Cusack is a writer, novelist, and he goes to supposedly haunted locations and then writes about them in his books, whether they're haunted or not. But then he gets a postcard in the mail saying, come to this hotel, where Samuel L. Jackson is the manager. And this place is haunted, guys. So it's all about him spending one night in the title room, which is 1408. Comes with a nice postcard replica there. This is double disc. Comes with the director's cut and the theatrical. So that is the old DVD of 1408. Not too sure if there's a Blu-ray of this one out there or not. Haven't really looked for one, but it's one I would definitely upgrade for sure if there was. Next, we have Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. This has to do with guys working at a cotton mill, I believe, and there's giant bats and rats all over the place. So this is a crazy movie. Stars Brad Dourif, and he has some incredible scenes in here. His acting is just over the top, as you know. Brad Dourif, amazing actor. So that is Graveyard Shift. If you haven't seen this one, definitely give it a watch. Next, we have the original Tim Curry Stephen King's It. I do actually have this on Blu-ray. Just haven't got rid of the DVD. But yeah, Stephen King's It. You all know Pennywise the Clown. Come terrorizing the kids and then the adults. So that is Stephen King's original TV movie, It. Next, big box set here of Kingdom Hospital, the entire series. I remember watching this on TV when it first came out, and then I did pick up the box set of the whole series. Comes on two DVDs, sorry. And yeah, so Kingdom Hospital. Basically, it's this hospital, kind of haunted, and there's a aardvark or an anteater that talks to people, and it's a crazy, crazy series. So if you're on your Netflix today or Hulu or whatever you have, Tubi, and you're bored, give Kingdom Hospital a watch because it is worth it. Next, we have a Tobe Hooper film with Robert Englund based on a Stephen King movie, The Mangler. And this has to do with a kind of clothing mill and basically a machine press that comes to life and kills people. Yes, you heard that right, folks, but this stars Robert Englund. I do actually have the Blu-ray on this one. I just held on to the DVD. But there you go, guys. Bare bones inside, just the DVD. So that is The Mangler. Fun little watch. So yeah, give it a watch. It also stars Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. I forget his name right now, but you know, Buffalo Bill. Next, we have Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. I do have this on the Vestron Collector's Edition Blu-ray, but I kept this one just for the artwork on the front. It's got the great Emilio with the Joker face on the back. You have the Joker truck right there as well. And this does come with a poster replica and a little booklet. So it's probably why I held on to that. But with this one, guys, an asteroid passes by the Earth, and the tail of the asteroid causes machinery to come to life, and basically the trucks take over the world. So that is Maximum Overdrive. Next, we have James Caan and Kathy Bates in Misery. I do also have the Blu-ray of this. Basically, James Caan plays Paul Sheldon, who gets in a car accident, and this is Kathy Bates. She is Paul Sheldon's biggest fan, so she rescues him from the car accident and then basically holds him a hostage at her house to finish his novel. So great performance here by Kathy Bates. Also, James Caan in this is excellent, so if you haven't checked out Misery, definitely check it out. It does come with a little slip card in there and the DVD, so that is Misery. On to the next stack. We have Stephen King's The Mist. This is basically about a mist that enters a town, and basically everybody stays inside a supermarket for most of the movie. But great little movie. One of the movies with the most bleakest endings ever. But yeah, based on a book by Stephen King. And this is double DVD, and one of them is, I believe, a black and white version, which is pretty cool. So that is the 2-disc collector's edition of The Mist. Next, we have Ed Harris and the late Max von Sydow in Needful Things. This is a fantastic watch. Basically, Max von Sydow plays the devil who moves into a small town and does trades for people, but the trades make everybody basically hate each other. On this one, guys, there is actually like a 4-hour TV version of this. This disc is listed at 2 hours, so I'm hoping at some point they release a director's cut or something on Blu-ray of Needful Things, of the TV cut, because that would be cool. I believe there's a German company that might be doing that at present, but I'd like to get a nice US or Canada release of this on Blu-ray with the TV extended cut. But yeah, Needful Things, if you have not seen this movie, highly recommended. Next, we have Stephen King's The Night Flyer. This is the old clip case again, where it just folds out like that, and you have the Night Flyer disc in there. This one's basically about a reporter who is reporting about these murders with a small airport, and there is that bat-like creature killing people. So, The Night Flyer, totally underrated. You don't hear a lot of people talk about this one, but one of my all-time favorites. So that is The Night Flyer. Next, we have the Special Collector's Edition of Stephen King's Pet Sematary. This is the original one. Basically, everybody knows about Pet Cemetery, but they basically bury things in a pet cemetery, and since it's on an Indian burial ground, whatever you bury there comes back to life, and not in a good way. I think I just kept this DVD due to some special features it might have on it that weren't ported over to the Blu-ray. But yeah, there you go. Stephen King's Pet Cemetery. Everybody knows about it already, so I just thought I'd show off the DVD to you guys here today. And next we have Edward Furlong in Pet Cemetery 2, which I actually just picked up on Blu-ray a few weeks ago. But this is more of the same. You know, you bury the people in the pet cemetery, they come back to life, but not in a good way. And it does star Edward Furlong, which is fantastic, when he was kind of at his prime. Pretty sure he did this either just before or just after Terminator 2. I'm pretty sure it was just after he did Terminator 2. But that is Pet Cemetery 2 on DVD. Next, we have Christopher Lloyd and Matt Frewer in Clive Barker movie, Quicksilver Highway. It was directed by Mick Garris. I don't know. Yeah, I guess Clive Barker stars in this movie. But basically, Christopher Lloyd is a traveler in a basically motorhome type of deal. And he basically tells this bride short stories. So it is an anthology movie, one of my all-time favorites. So if you're into horror anthology movies, definitely check out Stephen King's Quicksilver Highway. You see it there in the middle, Quicksilver Highway. And Christopher Lloyd is actually fabulous in this movie. So if you haven't seen it, like I said, check it out. Next, we have Stephen King's Riding the Bullet uncut version. This stars, what is his name? Just give me one sec. David Arquette. Basically, David Arquette is in this, and it's about a guy who wants to go on a roller coaster or something. It's kind of all over the place. The roller coaster is called Quicksilver, I believe. But yeah, Quicksilver Highway, directed by Mick Garris. It's okay watch if you're at home bored with nothing to do, which is like everyone right now. So yeah, Riding the Bullet. The Bullet is the name of the roller coaster. I'm getting confused here with the last movie there, guys. You know, old age brain fart. Next, we have Schwarzenegger, The Running Man Special Edition. I do have this on Blu-ray, but probably kept this edition just for the special features alone. It is a 2-disc special edition of The Running Man. And basically, The Running Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a prisoner, and he basically goes into this game show where they basically hunt people for sport. But yeah, The Running Man, if you haven't seen Schwarzenegger in The Running Man, I highly recommend you do. Next, we have Stephen King's Rose Red. This is a TV movie about them going to a haunted mansion, which is known as Rose Red. And yeah, it's haunted, and people go there, and haunting things happen at Rose Red. So this is a big, thick double disc, I believe, because this is a miniseries. I did watch this when it was on TV, and I enjoyed it. So Rose Red, you could do worse. Next, we have the old DVD of Salem's Lot. I do have this on Blu-ray. It basically has to do with vampires, but everybody knows about Salem's Lot if you're watching this channel. So that's the old DVD of Salem's Lot, and it is one of those old snap cases. Next, we have the Salem's Lot remake, I believe. This stars Rob Lowe. But yeah, basically a remake of Salem's Lot, and I don't really remember loving this one, so. Next, we have one of my favorites, Johnny Depp in Secret Window, based on a short story, I believe, by Stephen King. He's a guy that goes to this cabin, and he's kind of having a schizophrenic time there. But yeah, Secret Window, great performance by Johnny Depp. Underrated movie. Not a lot of people talk about this one either, but Secret Window, yeah. Next, 2-disc special edition of The Shawshank Redemption. Basically, Tim Robbins is wrongly imprisoned, and yeah, it's a fantastic movie. And William Sadler's in this too. They're stuck in prison, and he's trying to get out. This is the 2-disc special edition, 10th anniversary of Shawshank Redemption. So I've had this one for a while, guys. But if you haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, please watch it immediately. It is fantastic. Next, we have the TV version 2-disc special edition of Stephen King's The Shining. So they remade The Shining as a 4 episode, I don't know. There's little Danny Lloyd there, played by that guy. But yeah, the TV edition of Stephen King's The Shining. And I mean, it's okay for what it is, made for TV movie. So check it out if you're bored. Next, we have Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back and Sometimes They Come Back Again, double feature DVD. And basically, this is things from people's pasts coming back to haunt them for both movies. And I believe Michael Gross stars in one of these from Family Ties and Tremors fame. But yeah, check those out. Almost done, guys. Next, we have Storm of the Century. Fantastic little mini-series here, guys. Basically, a storm breaks out, and it's all the devil's work. But if you haven't seen Storm of the Century, highly recommended. Next, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, just on the Stephen King shelf, because I believe one or more of these were stories from Stephen King. But yeah, great anthology movie. You have the Blondie lead singer there. You have Christian Slater. And yeah, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, finally getting a Blu-ray release, so I'm excited for that. Next, we have Stephen King's Thinner. Great movie. It's about a guy who hits a gypsy from a carnival, and her husband puts a curse on the guy, so he loses weight no matter how much he eats. So he has to find a way to break the curse. This is a fantastic movie. This is Thinner. Next, we have Stephen King's Tommyknockers, another short story. And yeah, Jimmy Smits is in this. And it's basically your typical alien movie. Basically, alien craft is buried under their town and making them do crazy things. I also remember watching this one when it was on TV way back in the day. But this is the complete miniseries of Tommyknockers. Definitely worth a watch if you have not seen it before. And last but not least, we have Trucks, based on a short story by Stephen King. This is basically the same source material as Maximum Overdrive. And I mean, it's okay with what they did with it. I don't mind the movie Trucks at all. So if you haven't seen Trucks, based on the Maximum Overdrive Stephen King source material, definitely check it out. But yeah, I hope you like this video, and give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys have any Stephen King? Do you read Stephen King? I'd love to hear your comments, and that's it. That's my time. Thanks for yours. Have a great day, guys. Peace!
So if you guys like that video, comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in Phil's next video. Peace!